Welcome to my Matchday 2 score predictions of the Qatar World Cup. We are currently halfway through round 1. Time of recording, it is currently 0-0 between Denmark and Tunisia. That is currently half time, but I had to get this recorded and uploaded because round 2 is starting on Friday. So there's been a few upset results so far in round 1, but we'll talk about them as we go along. Let's begin with the first game of Matchday 2, which is Wales against Iran of Group B. Wales in their last game got a 1-1 draw with the United States. Didn't play particularly well in the first half, but in the second half they came back into it, got the equaliser from the penalty spot, and I think it was a fair result in the end. Coming up against Iran, who did lose 6-2 to England in their last game. You know, question marks over the penalty decisions, of course, England not getting theirs and Iran getting one right at the end for something, just even less contact than the England penalty shout. But, let's not complain about that. We picked up a good win. I think this one will end in another draw for Wales, and I'm going to go for a high score of 2-2 here. Iran, obviously coming up against the top side, which was England, it was always going to be a difficult game for them. But coming up against someone like maybe a bit more on their level with Wales, I think we could be in for a good game here. I'll go for goals as well, both sides to score, high scorer, a 2-2 draw here. We'll move on to Qatar against Senegal now, the first game of round 2 of Group A. Qatar obviously lost on the opening day, 2-0 defeat to Ecuador. Senegal also lost 2-0 to the Netherlands as well. And, well, I think Senegal's going to win this one. I can't really see Qatar scoring any goals now, not against Senegal, and then not in their third game, which will be against the Netherlands. Senegal, I thought they did pretty well against Netherlands, of course. 2 late goals that the Dutch did score. Did see them pick up that defeat, but it was a good performance by Senegal, and I think they'll win this one pretty comfortably. I'll go 2-0 win for Senegal in this one, and then we'll move on now to the final game in Group A, which is the Netherlands against Ecuador. The Netherlands should win this one. Of course, Valencia from Ecuador scoring the 2 goals against Qatar on the opening day. But I think it's going to be a different story in this one. I know Netherlands looked a bit shaky in their game against Senegal, but I think they should have this one wrapped up. And I'm going to go maybe a bit too high here, but I'm going to go for a 4-0 victory to the Netherlands in this one. I think really they can score some goals in this one, so I'm going to go for it 4-0 to the Netherlands in this one. Final game of Group B, England against the USA. This is the nighttime kickoff. And, talked about England before. Good win last time out. Really good performance. And, America next, which I am expecting to win, but I do think it will be a bit tighter than the Iran game. I do think we'll keep a clean sheet, but I'll go for a 2-0 victory to England here. It's going to be, a good one. Not just football, obviously, history in this game as well. So, both teams should be fired up for it. So, I'll go for an England victory in this one. Next up, we've got games in Group D and Group C. The first one being in Group D, the morning kickoff. Tunisia currently in action now, currently 0-0 against Denmark at halftime. Against Australia, who are still yet to play France in this evening's game. I think Tunisia will win this one. I am going to go for a goal for Australia, though. I do think that they may be able to get a consolation here, but I think Tunisia should win this one. Currently watching the Denmark one. Tunisia playing pretty well, so I think they should be able to pick up a victory against Australia. Next up, the game in Group C, Poland against Saudi Arabia. Poland's game is still yet to be played this afternoon against Mexico. Saudi Arabia just finished, ended in a 2-1 victory against Argentina. A really good performance by Saudi Arabia. And look, when you see just this team put in a performance, which they did do against Argentina, you think that they can beat anyone on their day. Then they've obviously proved it with Argentina. They could easily do it with Poland. Poland are by no means the best side, not even like one of the best sides in Europe. So if they can beat a top Argentina side, then they should be able to beat this Poland side. It doesn't work like that though, and I am going to go for a 3-0 victory to Poland, which, look, as I did say, I mean, Saudi Arabia could get a consolation goal, but I don't think that they would be able to. They've put in their top performance. They'll be happy with that. Poland, still a way better side than Saudi Arabia, and I just feel like it's good. It's just going to show in this game, and Poland will beat them 3-0, but we'll wait and see what happens with this one. Saudi Arabia, definitely a team to watch out for the rest of the competition after that performance against Argentina. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do for their final 2 games. But we've got the final game for Group D here. France against Denmark, of course. As I mentioned, France is in action tonight against Australia. But against Denmark, currently holding out a 0-0 draw with Tunisia. Tunisia definitely having a few chances. I mean, it's fairly even at the moment between Denmark and Tunisia, obviously with the 0-0 draw. But I do think that this one is going to end a draw as well, and I'm going to go for a high score of 2-2. I think there'll be lots of action in this one, and I think Denmark will have to be fired up for this game against France to pick up something, because France have got a top side, but I think they'll be able to do it. We'll move on for the final game in Group C now, which is Argentina against Mexico. I've already mentioned Argentina. So many opportunities. They couldn't find a goal in that 2-1 defeat to Saudi Arabia this morning. Mexico in action this afternoon against Poland. But I do think Argentina will bounce back. They'll have to bounce back. They'll score some goals. They will concede, I do think. But I'm going to go for a 3-1 victory to Argentina in this one. And then we'll move on to Group E and Group F now, where it is Japan against Costa Rica. This one will be an interesting one, of course. Both of these nations, the nations that you see from now on downwards, they're playing tomorrow and then the day after. So we don't know what's happening in their games yet. But I do fancy Costa Rica to get a victory in this one. I'll back both sides to score. 2-1 victory to Costa Rica in this one. Belgium against Morocco next, the game in Group F, where, again, Belgium not played yet, but I think they've got a good squad and they should be able to beat Morocco. I do think Morocco may be able to sneak a goal. I'm still going to say a Belgium victory. I'll go 3-1 Belgium for this one. And then we'll move on for the other game in Group F and the other game in Group E with Croatia against Canada. Again, going to back Croatia in this one. Canada, would they be able to get one? I don't think they will be able to. I'll go 3-0 Croatia in this one. In the World Cup so far, there's been some upsets and there's been some high scoring games. So look, anything could happen. But I'll back Croatia in this one, and then we've got the big one: Spain against Germany. The 2 top sides of Group E, the 2 sides expected to make it out of Group E. Who is going to get the upper hand here? Who's going to top that group? This is the game to decide it. Will it end a draw? I think both sides will score, but I am going to nick a Germany victory in this one. I'm going to go 2-1 to the Germans in this one. Before we move on to the final 2 groups now, which is Cameroon and Serbia. I'm going to fancy Serbia in this one. I'll go 3-0 to Serbia. Again, going for quite some high scorers here. South Korea against Ghana, the other one. I'll back both sides to score, but Ghana, I think, have got just the upper hand in this one. Of course, South Korea with Son, but the rest of the team, compared to Ghana, they've definitely not got any world-class names. I mean, maybe Thomas Partey from Arsenal, but world-class names. But the squad that they have got together, a bit like the Senegal team. Obviously, Sadio Mane was out, but they put in a really good performance together as a team. So I think it's going to be the similar situation with Ghana. I think they'll pick up all 3 points in this game as well. And then we'll move on to the final 2 games. The final game of Group G being Brazil against Switzerland. I'll back Brazil to win this one. I'll go 2-0. And then Portugal against Uruguay. I'll back Portugal to win this one as well. And I'll go for another 2-0 victory in this one. So yeah, that is going to wrap up my round 2 score predictions. Of course, still the one more round left before we do go into the knockout stage of the competition. And yeah, it's going to get interesting soon. Already been a few upsets, so we'll see how it continues going on. I'll see you all then. Bye.